Hi, my name is Elena Turner and I will be talking to you today about the moral status of human and non-humans and about the abortion of human fetuses. So life is a very fragile phenomenon and it is often taken for granted. One way this is done is whenever a woman decides to have an abortion. Whenever she decides to have an abortion, she is taking away the future of a fetus. She is using the fetus's future as a means to her end. This could be supported by the Kantian theory, which states one should not use something else as a means to their end. The Kantian theory also could support that animals should not be used as a means to a consumer's end. Some ways that animals are used as a means to a consumer's end is in factory farms and in family farms. While family farms are much more humane than a factory farm, nonetheless they are both using the animal as a means to the end. Factory farms are very inhumane towards the animals today. And with the recent increase of the production of meat for the consumers, the animals are often mistreated because of it, because there is such the great high demand. They are mistreated by they're forced to live in small confined spaces for the majority of their life, only to, so to say, move down the line to be slaughtered. But when the animals reach the slaughterhouse, sometimes they aren't necessarily dead whenever they get there. An interview of an employee said his job was to cut the hocks off of the animals. And he said, on bad days, dozens of animals reached his station clearly alive and conscious. Some would survive as far as the tail cutter, the belly ripper, and the hide puller. They died piece by piece. In this situation, consumers are using the tormented, butchered animals as a means to their end, with their end being nourishment from the animal or just the satisfaction of eating the animal. With the nourishment from the animal, this could be supplied in different ways for the consumer. The consumer could get the protein that comes from meat from different protein supplements, such as protein shakes and protein bars, or there's different types of food that don't inflict any type of pain on an animal at all. While family farms, on the other hand, are much more humane than factory farms. They don't have to suffer their entire life in a tiny little cage where they have no room to move. While family farms actually offer them the right to roam around and eat fresh grass. They are allowed the life that they desire on a family farm until they are killed. While the slaughtering process is often hid from the consumer's eye, I believe that if a consumer could see the process from the beginning to the end, that it ends up on the plate, that the consumption of meat would go down drastically. Family farms allow animals to live a more desirable life, a life closer to the free-range animals, and that would not end up in a slaughterhouse. Family farms are much more humane in obtaining the meat, making them more acceptable. While not eating any meat products would probably be the best option, this could result in other complications as well, such as overpopulation. And when overpopulation occurs, this would cause a problem in the food chain. It could cause an overpopulation in the animals, or actually underpopulation in the animals that they eat, because if they eat another animal, or other complications could occur from having an imbalance in the food chain. However, animals they recognize suffering, but it's different compared to human suffering and pain. Animals tend to be able to get over the pain and suffering easier, well, it's especially at family farms, not so much at factory farms, but humans in general feel pain and suffering in a different way, and they remember it, and they can anticipate the pain and suffering to come. And whenever a mother decides to have an abortion, she's inflicting pain on the fetus. And some studies have discovered that fetuses can feel pain up to 20 weeks after conception and afterwards, or as early as 20 weeks. However, there are many people that disagree with these findings, and the procedure in order to completely confirm them is not an easy task to complete. Ray Paschal, an anesthesiologist, watched a surgeon place a 23-week-old fetus, place a tool on it, and saw the tiny baby flinch. And after experiencing this, he decided from that point on he would increase the anesthetic in the mother so that the baby could receive some of the anesthetic so it would not feel this pain applied to it. Since babies can feel pain 20 weeks and after, there should not be laws there should be laws not allowing abortion after that instead of laws allowing abortion after that, because the baby can feel pain at this point, and by this point in the pregnancy that it should be illegal because they can feel the pain, and it should be illegal because we're taking away the fetus's future like ours, according to Marquis. And abortion is a form of murder because murder is stealing, and stealing is taking away something of great importance to someone or something that they deeply care about, and their life is something they deeply care about. And considering abortion in this context, the mother is stealing from her normal fetus the future that it would have had if it would have continued developing. When a mother aborts her child for trivial reasons, she's using the fetus's future as a means to her end. She aborts the fetus, depriving it of her future, using as a means to her end, just to be able to continue on with her life as she knows it. However, abortion could be justified with certain traumatic circumstances. Judith Thomson uses a lot of analogies in her article that we read, and she compares a traumatic experience to another incident and then relating it overall to abortion. One of the analogies that she used was a violin player needing to survive on someone else's kidneys, and so they took someone and connected them together, and he was living off her kidneys without her consent. In this circumstance, or this scenario, could be compared to rape. When a woman is raped, it was against her will, but if she becomes pregnant, she will be stuck with this child inside of her, reminding her every day of this horrible memory that she had. And the fetus will use her body for food and shelter for the next 9 months without her consent. However, if a woman knows she is not taking the proper precautions to avoid pregnancy, she should not have the right to abort the fetus. If a woman aborts the fetus because of rape, it is not an unjust killing, and the fetus does not have the right to the woman's body. In this case, the fetus is using the woman as a means to its end, taking the resources needed to survive from its mother. But if a woman becomes pregnant voluntarily, the fetus has the right to the resources from the woman's body. If she aborts the fetus, it would result in an unjust killing. In this case, if the mother aborts the fetus, she is using it as a means to her end by stealing the fetus's future for her own benefit. So in conclusion, animals should be treated with respect and have equal rights to its peers. Abortion should be illegal, and the reasons for abortion mentioned do not outweigh the value of the fetus's future. Thank you.